Sawa.
Ngoja, zoom out. Ushaanza kurecord.
Oh shit.
Ni hapa tu.
Why guy?
Recording. Sasa niwaambie good morning. It's not good morning even. Hi guys. Today we are in studios. Yeah. It is
Whatever time it is.
Yeah, whatever time you're listening. My name is Alvin Fadhili, co-host of the Mira podcast, and kwa leo tumekuja kuzungumza kuhusu mambo ya ukoloni. Now, today's topic being neo-colonialism. Nikisema vibaya, please remember mimi nimetoka kwa mlima.
Really?
Okay, kando ya mlima, kando yake. But anyway, yeah, today we're talking about neo-colonialism. What is neo-colonialism? This refers to the control exerted by powerful countries over formerly colonized nations through indirect means. Basically, after the colonizer left the country they colonized, the power that was left there, all they did was exert the same control and power that was there before. Yeah. Now, Anthony Maina, tell us more about what you think neo-colonialism is.
Well, wacha tuanze by kusalimia all our fans and supporters and anyone who listens to us. Welcome back to the Mira podcast. On to the topic neo-colonialism. So, personally, I think it is colonization pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like colonization with a black man instead of a white man. So they dealt with the racist aspect of colonialism, but they just left it at that. Like hawaku put in effort zaidi hapo. Like they just put a black man and they were like, you know what, you do what you are doing and then, you know, life continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was during our bridge episode vile tuliongelelea one Kenyatta.
One well-placed black man.
One Jomo Kenyatta. Now, Kenya gained independence in 1963.
Yes, sir.
And it became a protectorate. No. Protectorate ni ile kitambo. Okay, it gained independence in 1963, lakini ikakuwa declared. It was declared whatever it was declared. Sikufanya history by the way, guys.
Real.
Whatever it was declared, it was declared in 1964, so or something like that. Yeah. Na for this mimi mutanisamehe, najua hata mjini mnanisamehe mbona, but mutanisamehe.
Tushaanza kukusamehe. Why are we samehing you?
Because I had intended to post something on Mashujaa Day, which was a few days ago, and I failed to do so because it lose relevance because of the days. By the time ilikuwa the concept I wanted to put across was put in place, masaa zilikuwa zishapita. So that is my apologies. Tutatuma kama kwa description ya hii episode because ni lazima ukuwe shujaa. Yes. Now, how does these countries have power exerted on them indirectly? It's through external influence, economics, political influence, cultural channels. So, and also one specific one that is people don't like trying to say, religion.
Apo, you have touched a very good number of people's emotions. People are listening keenly. What is this guy going to say?
So, tuanze, sindio? Let's just get right into it. Anthony Maina.
Yeah.
Tuanze na economic independence. Economic dependence. Independence inamaanisha ni tunafanya mambo si wenyewe. But now, on the dependence economic wise, what can you tell us?
I'd say Kenya is has the potential to be a very independent state economically.
Yeah.
Though the whole process of money and economics, you can't really work alone. You need people to get more money, less money. You trade things with other people.
Yes.
But Kenya's economy and economic state could be better. Right now we are forced to depend on external support. even to do what is beneficial to our citizens. You look at the standard gauge railway that was built. Kuna ka mshene mahali inasema hiyo idea ilikuwa ya Jimmy Wanjigi, lakini Uhuru Kenyatta akaamua, you know what, let's just steal this idea, go tell Mchina comes back with money and materials, and boom, it happened. So back to economic dependence and independence. I think we as Africans, not even as Kenyans, we like free things too much. I think it's a very serious problem.
Lakini ni free kweli?
They pose it as free.
Is it really free?
It's not free if you look at the fine details, but the way people talk about it as sijui tulichukua Eurobonds, sijui tulichukua deni kutoka China. Mnadhaningi tu China inawapeanga pesa, pia wao wana uses for their money. Guys, we need to honestly have a very serious conversation about excessive borrowing of money, please. Yeah.
So guys, on the economic standpoint, as a country, we sit like
literally
tumekalia,
we are sat as a country,
trillions of debt. We sit on trillions of debt. This debt, hata tungesema tumeacha kila kitu ni kuanza kulipa leo, everything we make, everything we earn ni kulipa hiyo deni. My friends, all people in this country will work, they'll get paid, all their money will go to pay that debt, na bado itakuwa cause tunaambiangwa tuko na hii pesa ya sijui kina nani, kuna hii pesa ya sijui kina nani, but they don't tell you hiyo pesa inarudishwa na interest.
Juu hata wewe ukipea rafiki yako loan unamwambianga ikipita past 2 weeks bana ongeza ka 5%. No. So hata wao hata China wakienda kuongea na Xi Jinping ama na president wa China anaitwaje, huyo jamaa, wakienda kuongea na once they have fully negotiated the terms, kuna konga na interest at some point. Hata bank hawezi kupea tu loan tu hivyo tu ati take this money na ukimaliza utarudisha.
Okay, wanaweza. The loan does that. The bank does that.
The loans that have no interest.
Yeah, depends what kind of loan you're taking.
So, financial literacy, maybe we'll cover that later on.
By the way, pia mnahitaji kuwa financially literate.
Yep.
But now to this point, our economics is not just about money. It's not just about money. It's about everything that we have. For example, other than the fact that we require or we seek a lot of external financial aid, even in our own homes, like now internally, we also seek a lot of external aid, like for example kuomba tunaombanga sana. Why? Because we have been put into a cocoon and a mindset that that's the only way you'll be able to grow. Like lazima omba mtu atakupea si yako na yake. That is why we have so many people huko nje. Say kusema they can't help themselves. Some of them can't really help themselves. But you can get to a point where you become dependent to someone else. Like you're just there living on what they give you.
Like you're not fending for yourself. Isipokuwa this person you as good as dead.
Unataka tu soft life, unataka tu kila kitu ikuwe unapewa.
Spoon fed.
Yes, especially that's what I wanted to say. But yeah. So, we are unable to repay our loans. Why?
Very good question.
Now, that one's like the most tragic thing is that the first ever like financial aid we ever got as a country, like ever, ile ilichukuliwa after independence, bado jamaliza kulipwa. It was written off because sijui nini
written off, like we couldn't pay the loan to the point.
Waliamua guy sasa hawa watu bana, they are just suffering, so what do we do? Let's just tuambie ni sawa, yet si sawa.
Guy,
so
that's some very serious degrading right there, if you know what I mean.
But anyway, yeah. Other than that, nilikuwa naambia mbona tunashindwa kulipa loan zetu. Cause we are under a controlled government.
Control system.
Tunasemanga vile tuko independent. Hakuna independence, by the way.
Independence
ni jaba. It's all in the mind. It does not exist outside your mind, by the way. It's stuck up there. So, why are we unable to pay? Because inafika point wao wanaenda wanaomba. Wakiomba nini inafanyika? Sisi tunakula. Na tukisema sisi haimaanishi common mwananchi. Ni serikali, the government. It really is just taking advantage of what you're doing. They ask for your money, they ask for your input. Kwanza kuna kwanga na hii kitu ya it's called building and infrastructure. There is a fund that the government seeks money from people. So wewe unaweka pesa yako, tuseme uko na same hundreds of something of thousands in your account. Unaona kuna hii bond ya serikali. Unawapea do. Hiyo do inakufanya nini? Ni ya kulipa au kufanya infrastructure like building the country.
So roads nini.
Yeah.
Vitu kama hizo.
Yeah. Which is borrowed from the people of the country.
Borrowed?
Yeah.
From the wait.
The government
so
borrows
the government
your money.
borrows your money to fix your infrastructure.
Yeah.
Then
sindio? So hiyo pesa watatengeneza nayo barabara, watatengeneza nayo manyumba, watatengeneza nayo everything. And all these things are quote unquote because they don't really do much. And tuseme it's given a 7-year period, 14-year period, whatever number of years that you've set for that bond or for that loan that you've given the government. Ikiisha wanakurudishanga pesa yako. Lakini the good thing is there's interest to that money. Like they pay you after every 6 months, they give you a percentage of the amount you put in. Actually, me naonanga stuff in a benefit because personally unakula pesa yako.
Like
hawezi lala njaa.
Ni kama like getting returns from the government to some extent.
So hiyo pesa unafaa kujiuliza inaendanga wapi?
Unafaa ukae chini ujiite meeting useme
Yes, the government will bring back your money after those 7 to 14 years depending on the years you're lending the government the money. They'll bring it back.
So basically
try
to understand. Try to understand. So kama vile insurance companies zinakuanga na pool of money that is from risk. Same thing government does. So government has a lot of money to use to maybe invest ama to fix your things ama to nini. Okay, tunajiuliza kwa nini barabara ni. Unajua kuna jamaa inasemekananga anatembeanga na makasi ya ku-launch tu. Alafu zaidi hapo ikisha launchiwa
anakonga ki-launch
ikisha launchiwa wakishapiga media campaign
is end of story,
you know. So Morara Kebaso can tell you more about it, lakini
by the way guy mulimfanyia vibaya na rock
manze
hapo hiyo si fiti by the way.
The guy is just literally
hakuna mtu amekosea.
The guy is just literally trying to show you your government is just launching.
But anyway, so this money they bring back, they do, lakini depending on what kind of fund you took. Wanaweza kuambia hatuwezi kulipa saa hii, serikali iko broke,
wamekumuhadi.
They eventually bring back the money. But the question is they borrow money in trillions, in billions from other countries, from other financial aiders. They still borrow from within our country. Our current president is now borrowing from our tax.
Ana borrow for personal gain.
Ana borrow from everywhere. And mimi nataka kuuliza wewe kama mwananchi, you as a citizen of this country, hiyo pesa inaenda wapi? Ask yourself. You mwenye unakulwa hiyo pesa kwa hiyo tax. Tuseme hii inaitwa security health fund ama ni kitu
basically NHIF mpya.
Bas. Unajua ni pesa ngapi watu wanatoka kwa hiyo kitu? Do you know? Do you know how much your parents are paying for that thing?
I know not. Please educate me.
Wazazi wako wanatumia NHIF ama hiyo SHF ama whatever it's called right now.
Okay, hata sasa walikuwa nayo ilikuwa because it was mandatory to have it.
Sasa hata wewe unafaa kuwa nayo. You should have it. But you don't have it, ndio?
Yeah.
What at once to make money, you will pay for it. Yet you don't have it. You don't use it.
So inaweza kuwa mi health yangu iko too best lakini
I'll give you an example. Someone earning about 500,000 Kenya shillings, yeah, a month. Na mtu wako tuseme mtu ana earn 500,000. Let's use 500,000 ikuwe ni basic. Halipi NHIF ndo aitumie. Most likely this individual has taken up another form of insurance. Why? Because NHIF ama yo SHF, whatever they're calling it, is not up to standard. It's not,
first of all, it's not up to standard.
And it's not worth it. Sindio? Hii kitu ikiwa NHIF, mtu alikuwa analipa 500. Na hata hiyo 500 ulikuwa unalipa ilikuwa ina depend na the amount of income you have. So kama income yako ni 10,000, unalipa less.
Oh, so ilikuwa like based off of
it's a certain percentage of the amount of money you make. Now, this person earning 500,000 anangolewa a percentage of what they use. Sindio? No, sorry. What they earn. Na hiyo pesa inakulwa. Yaani serikali wana meza
spoon to mouth.
Mbaya. Like ile it's insane. Because I'll give an example of a discussion I was having with someone. Hakuniambia income yake, lakini aliniambia every month income yake ni like way above 300. Tuseme ikiwa chini sana ni I think 350 a month. 350,000. Lakini analipa hiyo SHF 40 something thousand.
Gili 40
kedo seti hata 40 flat 40 kedo niko na kamutu hapo juu yake.
For healthcare you will most likely not use it.
Not most likely, she doesn't use it.
Kenyewe kama uko nayo pesa si unaenda tu Aga Khan nini.
Kampuni yenye imemwajiri inamlipia.
Oh, like inakatangwa.
Ndio, sinakuwa pay.
We that's crazy.
Hiyo inakuanga NHIF ever inakuanga pay.
So wase wakiweza amua kusongesha.
Sorry guys, pay ni pay as you earn.
Yeah. So wase wakiweza amua kusongesha goalpost leo ikue sasa yao mse tuseme itoke 40 something ifike 70.
Sasa hizi ni percentage. What they do is a percentage of your income. So tuseme hata ni 10%. So inamaanisha huyu mtu ana earn 400,000. So 10% of that 400,000 ndo anangolewa.
For medical care you absolutely never use.
Yeah. Na hata si eti hiyo healthcare anaweza ipeanisha itumiwe kwa mtu mwingine. Wewe sema ati kuna anko yangu ameumia na niko na hii SHF, aibuacha atumie yangu. You can't.
Serious?
Nope.
Ni kama hizi vitu zinakuanga kwa fine print ya paperwork ya school fees ya shule. Unapata mtoto wako kwa boarding school lakini analipia transport because where are you being transported to?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Transport gani?
My son, unalipanga books and tuition fee.
Transport ya kutoka kwa kitanda hadi class.
Transport ya dom yenye una moving by running kwanza. Kidogo hata wakuchape ukufe. But anyways, as you had said earlier, we live in a very commercialized world and it's really degrading to humanity in and itself. And even the systems in place right now, even excluding government, now past government to like other governments.
Nimekumbuka kitu nilikuwa we digressed kidogo, but I've remembered the point I initially wanted to put across. Maliza tu
sasa between like governments now, vitu kama export market, hizo vitu ni like very controlled spaces. Like unaangalia ka flower export market ama most plants, like most things that require most plants, tuseme cocoa. Kama Kenya walikuwa big in pyrethrum a while back, and then mimi sijui kulienda aje. We need some explaining. Kahawa. Unapata most of these things they are grown here.
Story ya kahawa ni funny guys. Story ya kahawa.
Like most of these things are grown here.
Yeah.
Then these people, they don't have them, like they don't have the land ama the conditions to grow these things. So unapata they'll export coffee from Ghana. Coffee is mainly from Ghana.
Yeah, that's true. Mimi najua tu kahawa ya Kenya
cocoa from the cocoa belt. I'm forgetting where it is. I'll clarify. But they export it from Africa. Go process it, then sell it to you at a higher price than they bought it at. Like wase wanakwanga wametufinesse 10-0 by virtue of birth.
Mimi niko na kahawa. Nyinyi mwenye mnapenda Nescafe.
Nishaanza kuumia manze.
Mnapenda Nescafe, si ndio? Ni tamu. It is wonderful.
Hiyo kitu inafanyanga dunia ina make sense.
Processing yake iko shit. Hata mimi nimesahau.
Imeibiwa.
Lakini some western country.
Brazil.
I think so.
Yeah, it's in Brazil.
Go Brazil. Yeah. So unafaa kujiuliza Nescafe wanatoanga wapi kahawa yao? Kahawa ya Kenya, kahawa ya Ethiopia, kahawa ya which other African country?
Find out which other major African country.
These major African countries.
We have the online. Unajua hapo mzazi wangu angekuwa alafu anze kutype.
Ana type ta.
Mimicking somebody's parents.
Now those high end African producers of coffee wanafanyikanga nini? Wanaambiwangwa hii kahawa yako tuta export. Tuki-export hii kahawa inaenda wapi? Inapelekwa kule Brazil. Wanaunganisha na kahawa yao. Wanafanya nini? Processing. Wanakuwekea kwa tin ama kwa sachet. Wanakurudishia. Wanakuzi. Let me tell you. Unaweza uza gunia, a whole sack of coffee for less than 100 shillings.
Oshayona Nescafe, the big the large can inakuanga about 1500.
Mimi hata sitaki kujua. Lakini goja. Sorry. Hizi kwa gunia mzima. Hapo ni mwadanganya. Ni 100 grams. Nimekumbuka.
So the major countries that are in production of coffee ni Brazil. Production, not like farming coffee. By Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, Indonesia and Ethiopia. Others that fall huko chini sasa ni Honduras, India, Uganda, Mexico, Guatemala, Peru, Kenya, Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Miki tunajua ni kahawa kahawa yetu wanafanyanga kitu wanaita exportation ikiwa a raw product. Tunakuwa very happy tukisema we export coffee. Guys, you export coffee, yes, but the coffee you're exporting ni kahawa yenye unaletewa ikiwa 5 to 7 times more expensive than what would have been if we actually processed it and done everything to it while we are here in Kenya. Tuna digress. Hatuko hapa kwa sababu ya coffee. Tulikuwa kwa economy. So si nilikuwa naambia watu hatuwezi lipa loans vizuri, si ndio? Why? Because the more we try to pay, the more they find ways to actually reduce the amount we pay. Wanakula tu, wanachuna tu. Wewe uko hapo. Ni kama kuna time nilikuwa natengeneza kaimati pahali. natengeneza kaimati 5, by the time nimezitoa kwa jiko ziko 3. By the time nimetengeneza the next batch ziko 2.
Kina nani?
Unashanga kaimati zinaenda wapi?
Where are these things going?
So the way people were kaimating my kaimatis, it is the same way the government is doing to you. But now, if you understand things about finance, understand how loans work. When you are unable to pay a loan, what happens? That loan you had put as security. Guys, take out your notebooks please.
Notebook na pen. Mapema.
Security for that loan. Ulikuwa umeweka. Whatever it is. Inaweza kuwa ni title deed, inaweza kuwa ni title deed ni shamba, si ndio? Inaweza kuwa uko na apartments pahali, inaweza kuwa uko na gari. Hiyo ndio umeweka kama security ya kupata hiyo loan.
So security is what they can take if you are unable
to pay the loan.
Yeah, sasa yes. It's basically in the name security. Like,
yeah.
This is what you are going to secure this loan with. Simple.
Yeah. Now, with that security of yours, si ukishindwa kulipa loan, si wanakujenga wanachukua security yao. Vibaya. Kwanza title deeds that title deeds zako ukishapata hivi, you take the original to the bank, they give you the loan. Wanakuacha na kakope.
So wewe ukiamua kwa na ideas kidogo tu hivi,
title deed original wao wako nayo. Now I am asking, ikikuja sector ya Chinese government, ikuja sector ya US government, ikuja sector ya IMF, which we are yet to talk about.
IMF. Wow.
Unafikiria
tunaweza fungia hapa, tukiweza fungua mambo ya IMF.
Unafikiria wao hawana security? Do you think they're just giving us loans in the benefit of doubt?
They just have free money. They're like, you know what? Hii pesa ni nyingi na niwasha. Kenya, hebu pokea, pewa kamoja.
Unajiuliza ni kwa nini tunakuwa tukipewa loans one after the other na hatujamaliza kulipa hizo zingine?
Hata
inakuanga tu zinaletwa tu,
hawako concerned that tuko na other loans.
Wanaleta tu. Kwanza hata si juzi tumepewa loans za kufight corruption. Tumepewa mabilioni ya kufight corruption.
My lord.
Mabilioni in US dollars. By the way guys,
you need to wake up. You need to wake up.
With the concept of the way a bank will lend you money and seek a security so that when you're unable to pay that loan, they can come for you.
Ama they can compensate themselves.
Yeah. Serikali mzima, a whole government, unafikiria ni loans gani watatumia?
Na pia unafikiria what is the cost that they are going to compensate? Like what is so valuable that a government can use it as security? Think about it.
Think about it.
Kidogo tu when you are, you know.
Mimi kuna kitu nilikuwa nasikia kuhusu KICC. Siko sure. I shall not say anything. Adani wako JKIA. Sijui. I shall not say anything.
It alleged. It is alleged.
Yeah.
Rumors have it.
Unaendanga kwa SGR. Unapata ni wachinkua kwa huko. Unajiuliza, kwani bado wanajenga? Wewe, mbona wako SGR? I'm just asking. So, with that, let us just move forward to resources. The control of resources. Yeah.
So basically, let me touch something on like the whole currency system that we use right now. Kuna content kidogo hapa na pale. So initially currencies were backed by gold. Then US waka create US dollar. Wakakuja na madora. Unajua watu wanapenda madora sana. Then US wakakaa hivi chini waka create system ya kuruka madeni zenye wako nayo juu walikuwa na too much gold. But tuko kwa too much gold. Sawa? hao wase waka create system ya kutoroka deni yao ya gold. So waka create US dollar based banked on nothing, like hakukuwa sasa na security. Kitambo currency was secured by gold, na pia hiyo kidogo unajua mkienda huko Kenya mseme tuko na 50 kgs of gold in our country, hao wazungu wanawaambia nyi measuring scale yenu so hapo mnaambiwa nyi mko na 12, unaona. So washa chipo currency yenu in your own terms, lakini bado mnaibiwa. So US waka create currency backed off of nothing.
Yeah.
Like sasa the currency system right now, the fiat currency, US dollar inakwanga backed off of nothing. So hawa say waka create sasa resource yao yenye wanapandishanga na wanashukishanga vile wanajisikia. Like can you imagine if the US runs into debt? They can just decide, you know what,
my friend, what do you mean if the US runs into debt? Who has said the US is not in debt?
Haya, the US is in debt, si ndio?
Yes.
Reserve currency ya dunia ni as of now. Before BRICS wa show up out of nowhere, na hiyo italeta shida mingi sana.
It is the dollar.
So since the dollar is the reserve currency,
yes,
unajua wase wakitaka dola ipande vile wanafanyanga, wana limit tu printing yao.
Ndio.
Dola ina value ina skyrocket, wanachukua dola ama wanaacha kuuza dola. Like literally hao wase wana control money yote ya hii dunia. Na inakwanga tu some guys tu wametulia tu mahali wakoza, you know what, leo tujisikii kuprint. So hao wase wanaweza control like the value of this currency that is the backing of 90% of other currencies as a controlled resource. Like our say they have the monopoly over the monetary system of the world.
Yes. See, that is why people say the US and the world. US is never part of the world.
US is greater than the world.
Sindio? Because they have taken control over a significant amount of things. Like a lot. Na wewe hakuna kitu unaweza fanya.
Literally.
Utafanya nini?
Utapata chenye unataka, tuseme if you want to buy things from export. Unapata like wachana sasa na vitu kama Jumia na Amazon zenye zimekuja juzi. Like if you wanted to import things, you buy them in dollars. So you take your country's currency, munaenda kwa exchange. Exchange ni mali. Mnaendaga mnaambiwa vile currency yenu si ya maana, ni ufala. Alafu based off of the amount of ufala yenye wanaona ni currency yenu, wanaambia haya, this amount equals to this dollar. Unaona? So unawapea this amount of your ufala currency for this amount, so for an equivalent amount of dollar.
Yeah.
So akijisikia dollar ni currency yenu ni ufala na wanataka dollar ipande, wakosa. Uzi Kenya dollar 2-3 months, dollar flow ina reduce, inapanda. Basic laws of supply and demand. Kama hakuna supply, demand inapanda. So value ya dollar
ina increase.
Kwa graph ina increase. Sawa sawa? So unapata hapo dollar ni 150. So for your 150 shillings, you get $1. Unaona? So hao wase wakiweza amua ku shut down country yenu tu siku moja, it's not as possible.
Lakini najua if you increase the value of the dollar, you're bringing on other issues. Because although you can say the United States of America have control over quite the large sum of the economy, there is something called recession that you cannot stop.
Sawa. Okay, sawa. Hiyo sawa, but
wakifanya hivyo, what they're doing is just putting their country into recession. Recession is when everything falls economically. The value for each currency falls. The value for products fall. The value for things like the worth. Kama saizi, people might not say our country is in recession, but it is. Because mkate ikiwa kedo 65 ikiwa 65 shillings, it's not its worth. The production of bread is something like 25 30 shillings.
So wait, so you are telling me that when a country when an economic structure goes into recession, see the things, like, does that affect the price of things? Like,
yes.
So when we go into recession, prices go up?
No, when you go into recession, everything falls. Okay. Like kila kitu wewe ukiuziwa haimaanishi ndio imefall. For example,
niko na homework leo, naenda kufind out kuhusu.
Kwanza guys, sijaambia recession ni tumeanza tu kuongea kuhusu recession. Recession. Wow. Recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade, industrial activities are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP. GDP ni gross nike money. My business is failing me. I'm sorry. Gross domestic product. Yeah. So
which is calculated import export mambo mingi.
Yeah.
Ni a lot of mathematics. Wewe jua tu
something anga ni mambo
hawa tu economics ndo wanajua vile waliamua ku come up na hiyo system.
So the GDP itaanguka. GDP kuanguka inamaanisha nini? Because it's gross domestic product. Si ndio? So gross domestic product inamaanisha ukicalculate kila kitu, everything, tuseme umeuza mkate, umeuza mayai, calculate kila kitu from production to sale inclusive of tax, all tax, you should have made a profit. That's when an economy is growing. An economy in recession means when you have the beginning to the end, the end product is a loss.
So mkilose mnaingia into recession.
Yes.
For you to recover sasa.
Even it's a form of recovery, but it's a decline in everything. So production reduces. Why? Because of the cost of production is too high. Cost of production being too high, the cost of purchase is going to be too high as well. Because a producer will not produce anything at a lower value than what. Okay, a producer will not make a loss in their production.
That's your producer mangoma.
Hata producer mangoma is make loss kwa produce yake. Producer hata like a cost of production yake, a whole music video or a whole song, it's it'll take $100.
Hata produce it at less.
Hata eza uza ama hata eza release for less than $100. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, that will come in place where sasa our country cost of production is high as bloody hell. Vitu tunauziwa zinapanda tu bei. Form ni kupanda tu bei. Everything is just skyrocketing. And there is no change in the good side because tax is increasing. Cost of everything is just increasing.
Tax is increasing the cost of everything, like literally.
So everything is increasing except the amount that the consumer or the citizen is able to use. We have a lot of money, we have a lot of reason to use money, but we lack the money to use. Sindio? Meaning these products won't be bought. Meaning these people in production won't have people to sell things to. Meaning they won't sell as much. Meaning they won't produce as much. Meaning everything is just falling. For example, let's go to land. Right now, the value of land has depreciated. Depreciated a lot. Not really. Like, it's a very advantageous point to buy land because it might increase. However, you do not know how long
the recession will take.
So, where was I going before you put on land?
Si wendo umeput on land.
Sasa kununua shamba. For example, now land has become very cheap. That is a bad thing. Because land is an asset. So you're losing assets. The value of your asset has declined. Meaning your gross income has actually reduced. Your value, like unaonanga hiyo watu wanasemanga sijui someone is valued at 2.4 billion. Hizo ni assets zinakuwa valued, so your value in assets has declined.
So ni kama worth 10 sasa wewe ni 8.
Yeah, meaning everything you own, like hata saizi 100 shilling si kitu. Hiyo si pesa.
Ukishavunja hivi thao imeisha, nikaa thao ndo pesa like, imebaki
100 bob unaweza ununue maziwa na mkate na haitatosha. Hata actually haitoshi.
Mkate ni 65,
maziwa ni 55. Haitoshi kununua maziwa na mkate. Ona,
yes, unless ununue maziwa ndogo ya 30.
Bas, ununue maziwa ndogo na mkate ndogo. So naona. But anyway, this is just bits and pieces of the
basics.
The kind of control we are having on other things. Right. Now, on control of resources. Because about jamaliza hapo.
Bado tu tuko hapo.
Tuko control of resources. One big resource I shall talk about, especially in our country, Kenya, is our wildlife. Our wildlife is one of the greatest resources we have as a country. Hiyo inakuanga ni kitu tunakuwa tukijivunia kama nchi.
Pride of Africa.
Yeah. Now, your wildlife. Saizi, I spoke about this earlier. Kwenda Masai Mara. Hebu niangalia hapo kwenda Masai Mara ni pesa ngapi? It's 20 something G's.
We's checking.
Why is it so high? Yet. Yeah. Wewe. Sasa tutangoja utaipeleka hapo 10 years. Yeah.
Adult entry fees. Non-resident. 80 to 120
USD.
Depending on the okay. East African resident. 1,000 to 2,000 per day depending on the season.
1,000 2,000 what?
Kenya shillings. Per day.
Per day.
Yeah.
Kuingia asubuhi na
depending on the season. Kenyan citizen. 1,000 to 2,000 per day depending on the season. Child entry fees. Non-resident. 45 to 75 US dollars per day depending on the season. East African residents 500 to 1,500 depending on the season. Kenyan citizen. Sasa ni Kenyan child 300 to 1,000 depending on the season. But this is based off of such engine yenye natumia. Special rates. Students, East African students ni 200 bob. Non-East African students ni 300 bob na non-East African residents ni $20. Unapata. Yeah.
Na hiyo ni research. Okay, ni updated
let me check when it was updated. Okay, hii hata ni AI wameleta. Unajua mi browser yangu iko na AI so mi wasisafa.
Lakini nataka kuangalia the most recent data because they changed it out some few months ago. Because around
wacha tuangalie kwa Masai Mara wenyewe. Wako na website.
Anyway,
2024-2025. USD 100 per person non-resident from 1st January. USD 200 per non-resident adults. Okay, inaweza kuwa wali change kwa gate lakini kwa website hawaja change.
Hii kitu imechange a few months ago. Ni vile sasa I didn't have enough time to do the actual data I wanted to put across, but that's irrelevant, yeah. Let's go to agriculture and our produce. Farmers suffer a lot.
Real. Because I don't think people understand how badly our own farmers are suffering.
And why are they suffering? Because our country wants to have control over the amount of food being given to us. Acha niwaambie kitu. Kama kuna kitu moja sisi kama Kenya hatufai kwa tuna import mahindi, mchele, sukari. So maize, rice, sugar. What else? There are these small things we keep on importing. That does not make sense. You should ask yourself, I think kuna time Mumias ilikuwa imefungwa Mumias sugar was the
ukiona the story behind how zilifungwa, like ni some very controversial.
We get sugar from Uganda. You should ask yourself why.
Like ni some very controversial stories of how people just went there to, spoon feed themselves with company money.
Yeah. So it's our government literally eating on our own growth. Mining. We have a lot of mines that are...
We have untapped.
Yeah.
A lot of untapped mines.
And what they do is they sell them to the highest bidder.
This is literally how your people sell you out. Kuna watadiscover alafu ifike mahali waone tu so kuna kuanga na oil belt na huko kwa kina Anthony. Si tuweke huko magaidi fulani tu wanasumbua tu Anthony atake kuhama. Anthony akianza kusumbua hivi hata inaweza kuwa tu alikuwa anaenda mahali wakamchipo tu Anthony akadisappear. Alafu government unaona kama ile land ilikuwa northern Kenya. Mali wali discover
mafuta huko Turkana.
Ile ukora ilifanywa huko. The political elite walienda tu akanunua hizo shamba zote. Wewe unajua uko na shamba lakini una title deed.
Ndio.
So wewe unasema hii ni ancestral land. Kidogo ikapigwa fence yote.
Ndio.
Alafu unaambiwa ni shamba ya wenyewe.
Si serikali ndio inapenanga title deeds.
Nakwambia kutoka nyam kwangi concerned hiyo story ya mafuta ilienda aje. Like hiyo story ilikuja tu kwa news.
Unajua kitu
tukaona
Wakenya wote tunafungwa macho haraka. Eti umeona wasanga.
Sana
nani? Where have you seen them?
They just now watu they know what they're doing. They're playing the long game. This is okay, these are like unethical ways that people are controlling resources here in this country of ours.
Yeah.
Because inaonekana here they can play whatever games they want.
Like and get away with it.
Like I say, fear to them is an idea, by the way. Wao wanafanyanga tu chenye wanataka and you can't do anything about. Okay, you can, but one, you don't know. You don't know how the game is being played. So this thing will never really benefit you. So unaona ka watu wenye wanaishi huko, the probability that this thing is going to benefit them is close to minute. Juu hii shamba ilinunuliwa na mtu most likely hata aishi huku. Kampuni zenye zitakuja kudrill mafuta most likely zitakuja na employees wao. The probability that they'll hire from local area due to education and other qualifications that are required to work ni very low. So whoever ends up benefiting from this will most likely not be from that local area, and this resource is from that area. So this thing is not beneficial to the people of that area. So this place cannot develop. So if we do this all throughout Kenya is not developing. Simple.
Now, as we progress, because tulikuwa kwa control of resources, there is so much control, but there is so little we can say within a specific period of time. Now, I'll just give you one example. The flower industry in Kenya. It's controlled by largely the Brits and the Dutch.
And it's been like that since, way back when.
Literally.
Like, see jokes.
Hii flower industry hajaikuwa kwa mikono ya Wakenya from the beginning. Like from onset.
Like ilikuwa imeenda from the beginning. Like literally, it's not a joke.
It's been on other people's hands. And these people who work on this flower, ama zinaitangwa hizo mashamba za maua, whatever they're called, are Kenyans who are being paid
pennies on the dollar, like literally pennies on the dollar.
Hey, wow. Like, you should look at agriculture as a whole, like the agricultural industry and the horticultural industry
and the games that are being played.
These people just siphon. They siphon. Like,
those people are more concerned about profits than the quality of life that you live.
They siphon, and you go months on end without being paid. Lakini kwa sababu tuwezi ishi hapa tukisema vile watu nini. Let us move steadfastly to something that will touch many of us, cultural influence and insert religion hapo, insert.
Najua umeanza kuumia, but you know,
insert tu.
You must.
Yeah. Hey. Sijui niwaambie aje.
Let's touch on things that we buy that do not benefit us. Kama Coca-Cola.
Mutanichukia by the way. So acha tu niwa prepare.
Sawa.
Acha Anthony atuambie kuhusu Coca-Cola.
Mimi kwanza niko curious. Coca-Cola inakwanga sweet ama salty?
Hata sijui. Inakuwa gasi.
Hiyo ndo unajua. Wewe ujika ni tamu ama ni kali. So as research shows, these brands like Coca-Cola are very prevalent in Coca-Cola's main market is actually Africa. Pepsi ndo inakwanga the rest of the world. Coca-Cola wanakwanga wameshine na Africa. Like wasee wanakwanga wame double, like Coca-Cola walikaa hivi chini wakona. These people, you know what? These people have got monies. And Coca-Cola decided to become the biggest. If you check the evaluation of Coca-Cola right now, Coca-Cola inaweza kuwa is valued at more than all of the African countries' GDPs combined. So basically hiyo ni kusema Coca-Cola anaweza amka siku moja waamue, see we overrun all these countries by virtue of money. Kama Africa ingeweza kuwa shamba ya kuauctioniwa.
What do you mean?
Like
si ni shamba ya kuauctioniwa?
Okay. Si hata to sugarcoat.
Hakuna kusugarcoat. We have been auctioned since before independence.
Sawa. You make the people
walikuwa wanatupigania huko. Literally, people went to war
for our land
to know who's going to get what
and our resources.
Nyata moni nyinyi mnapima ufala. Like these white people come from wherever they have come from to come fight here. For what? Ati for that shamba 50 by 100 hapo Kamul Joska.
And you
unashanga ni kwa nini? Wait. These people come from a third world country. First world country. They come to a third world country. They come here to fight for our resources. Why is that?
Question.
While you, most Africans out there, are fighting to go there. Between you and them, who's stupid? Just a question. Honestly,
umeattack.
It's just a question. Go there, learn their ways. Go learn everything you need to learn. But don't grow them. Because while you're growing them, the only thing you're doing is making them know that they can control us more.
Now this guy has just cleared. Ametibu kitu inaitwa watu kupenda kukaa huko nje. He has brilliant ideas on how to grow your country.
And there are so many ways in which we are colonized now mentally. Sasa nimeachana content yenye naenda kusema niko nayo hapa kwa akili. Nimeikumbuka yote.
Uko nayo in brains.
Yeah, so give me kindly. I'm sorry, this episode will be long. Let me just inform you. 50 minutes in.
Get ready.
50 minutes in.
Just get ready. Tunaweza gonga another 50 minutes.
Yeah.
While we are at it.
So, guys, now let me tell you. We have been influenced and they captured the most important thing to us, our culture and our faith. They have grasped.
Then it was spirituality. Then they did that thing where they switched the goalpost. Then they made faith more important because that is how they manipulate you, and then now you believe in the church more than your traditions, and yeah.
So they went into our culture. They undid all we had done for ourselves. They fought our own beliefs using the Bible, using whatever. Yet they come here. I'll give you an example of the church I go to. That church has 6 different pictures of Jesus. Yesu ni mtu tofauti mara 6. 6 times, and they're all white.
Let me tell you, I ran across this reel that was si unajua the picture of Jesus and the 12 disciples yenye wako kwa like dinner
hiyo inakuwa ni painting ya umsenaitwaje. God damn, and I had nilisoma hiki kitu jana.
Omse anaitwa Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci was tasked to create the biggest deception tool of modern day history. Umse alichukua mtu wao na local criminals na akawachora, na that is what is termed today as Jesus and the 12 disciples, like literally.
Kuna picha tofauti lakini that's just one of them, yeah.
Like,
but we're not here to talk about
we're not here to talk about vile mmedanganywa yo, but
I'm just giving that was just an example. Yeah, for example, kusiguze mlima. Nani anajua mlima ilikuwa na majina zingine? Do you know your native language to the mountain closest to where you originate from? The local name for it, not Mount Kenya, not Mount Elgon, not whatever those mountains are called. Even the Aberdare ranges have a local name. Nimesahau. Do you understand that they say that there is sijui mtu anaitwaje, the first person to see Mount Kenya, the first person to scale Mount Kenya wasn't the mountain there before the whites came?
Like, so that's on some real shit though.
We learn this in history. Yeah, like the history that we have adapted into our own systems. Ni yao.
The history that they taught us.
Ni yao.
Their history. Their version of history.
We are here being fed on lies, being fed on things that do not exist. Unaambiwa vile like the example is giving of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is not all that.
Coca-Cola are basically selling happiness to you in the form of a very sodium packed drink. Like literally. You think Coca-Cola is happiness because you have associated happiness to drinking Coca-Cola. But it was just a marketing campaign. Like it was like kuna mse alikaa tu hivi chini akasema, you know what, tufanye hivi na.
Yeah. The most 90% of our what are these things called? Our restaurants, they tend to look for the western feel. Kila mtu anapenda kula vitu zimetoka huko by the way.
Juzi hapo tu si Ukimao wamefungua branch ya KFC.
Yeah.
Like just close to
yeah.
Ukimao. Nakwambia that like it was on a Sunday. So unajua normally after like people go to church mnaendanga kama mko na chakula home na mnataka kula chakula home na kula home, but for most people hiyo ndo siku ya kusnack out, hiyo ndo siku mnaweza nunuliwa chips, you know. Eateries inside Ukimao were suffering. Like literally KFC ilifunguliwa tu hivi.
Eateries gani within Ukimao?
Kama ile place tunaenda kula shawarma. Normally you'd find it like packed with people, like packed. Hiyo siku I passed there at around like evening hours. Unapata hawajauza most of their supply.
Lakini that's just business. But
yeah, that's just business, but look at it this way. These people have like your country's people are valuing KFC more than what they normally eat. Like KFC ilifunguliwa hivi kila mtu akoza oh shit.
Lakini hata shawarma, hiyo place ya shawarma, kwani shawarma imetoka wapi?
Ni sawa, but si inauzwa na tuseme
hata KFC inauzwa na hawa watu unasemea.
Lakini
those branches in KFC are run and the employees there are Africans.
Lakini mbona, why would you consider KFC more than
a brand? It's the brand.
Sawa.
It's a brand. Mbona umevaa shati ya Nike?
Juu ndo nilipata leo asubuhi.
Lakini mbona uko na viatu za Nike? Mbona uko na viatu za Nike?
Yeah, I get. It's a brand association, yeah.
And these people have taken so much. Like they are sijui nielezee aje. Na feel ni kama nafaa kuanza episode mpya niwaambie, like, guys, sit down, take a notebook and let me explain to you
ufanye hivyo
with depth. Hiyo itakuwa tu ni kuelezea vile mnadanganya.
Sasa ufanye hivyo.
Tutafanya later. Hii ni I promise you. Sai. Amesema
Lately Ayanzi
camera operations Lois
zi
man.
iko na hiyo red dot but Ayanzi ku count.
Ina record. It's recording.
I'm recording. Hiyo red dot ni ya kuonyesha ina recording.
Ilikuwa imeanza 01 kwa nyingine.
Sawa. Sawa basi sasa itabidi hapo inamaanisha tuko less than 30 minutes. Ni sawa tuta reduce it to Umefinya?
Inatoa red dot.
Now, let's look at the military and political influence. Tuanze na serikali ya ugaibuni.
Shana hii video ya mzee fulani akisema serikali imembinu mbunu.
Unajua sitaki mrecord hivyo vyote alafu mpate hakuna.
Iko na red dot.
It
is recording.
Mbona ile nyingine ilikuwa na numbers?
Sijui say kuna kitu imechange. We can just test.
I'm recording.
Ina record.
Yeah. Now, on to military and political influence. So, our geopolitical standpoint and status as a country is very, very influenced by
the highest bidder.
Not really the highest bidder, but US and Britain. Yeah? Whatever they're called, yeah? Because the United States have land in Kenya where they send their troops and their militants to come and train. So does Britain. Yeah? Kwanza za Britain kwanza data ni kadhaa. They are quite the number. And they come here and they leave. They are actually officers of military whatever sections in Britain wenye walitumwa hapa and they didn't leave.
Wow, waliamua tu
yeah,
kuna
kazi. There were higher ranks. Walikuja huku wakiwa hapana tuseme sasa aje. What are you saying? Walitoka huko wakiwa higher ranks wakakuja hapa wakiwa lower ranks. But it's okay. Yeah. So they were higher ranked while they were wherever they were in Britain. Wanakuja hapa sasa zile wamefika miaka yao ya sort of retirement and then they come here and they become trainers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they are the ones who are in control of these barracks. And for example, the kind of equipments our weaponry our military uses ni low class. Yeah, what ni kama mabaki ama the
what happens when people upgrade sasa vile wazungu market yao iPhone 16
exactly it's the same thing. It's a whole
iPhone 15
on sasa, everything tunapatanga third hand ya weaponry and that's what we call our best. Even a few months ago when the president was in his tour of the United States, he was given I think a fighter jet, but that fighter jet ni ya World War II.
Like literally sisi labda tupigane tu na Uganda manze.
Bana usicheza na Uganda. Do not play with Uganda.
Ugandans, I'm sorry.
Uganda,
I have a lot of Ugandan friends.
Uganda is led by a militant. Yoweri Museveni ni askari. So serikali yake
is run like a
it's not run like a
military coup.
Yeah, it's not run like a
branch of the military.
Yeah, it's not run vile the armies run. But the kind of strength they have within is not small. Yeah. We are conceptually attracted to the mic.
Zini mic ko attracted. Imenikaribia sana.
Anapea mic head. Wow. But yeah, this has influenced a lot of things to rudi back to our US and British people. Their presence here has actually done good and bad to us. In the good, in the sense that our military also learns from them. They learn their tactics. They learn how to be better through them. So no. However, they're also taking up our land. Like your land, it's owned by them. Wherever they have their barracks, it's owned by them. It's not like leased. It's owned by them. It's been owned by them since time immemorial.
Since the beginning.
Yeah. Now, let us go to something that we had touched on earlier, which is called IMF.
And the World Bank.
IMF ni International Monetary Fund.
International ways to fuck you, basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Many ways.
Like literally.
In foreign languages.
Yeah.
In ways they can insert things where they're not supposed to be inserted.
Kama vile rafiki yetu alikuwa ananiambia ana panic in their mother tongue.
Bas.
Sawa wanaweza kufuck in your mother tongue.
Hey. Okay, yeah, ametumia direct example, yeah?
Yeah. Straight. Kuna ati sugar coating. Tell us about IMF and the World Bank.
There's a lot to say. But because about nasikia ni kama tumekula sana kwa episode. Let me just read a few things, yeah? In the 1980s and 1990s, Kenya underwent structural adjustment programs managed by the IMF and the World Bank. These programs required significant cuts in public spending, particularly in health and education, leading to widespread inequality and underfunded social services. So why are we talking about this? This was brought by the fact that we had a whole lot of money that we owed them. So wakaona, instead ya kutuitisha pesa tuwalipe mara once, they came into our funds, like what we take in, like health, education, nini ingine nimesema?
Social services.
Yeah, social services basically. And they found a way to actually get the revenue we owe them through there. They get the money we owe them through the revenue they gain from our social services. That's why you see the like teachers who get underpaid, because your program haijai badilika, by the way. Your program walitumia to repay themselves and it hasn't changed. So pesa natumianga inaenda tu kuwalipa bado.
So we're still
those
paying the IMF and the World Bank.
Those social services that you pay for, they're still being paid to them. But it's a
whole lot of
lot of things, yeah. And because we are really running low on time, short, yeah, I shall touch a few things, yeah, of someone called Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah,
I think we need to give this man just some time to come and shine with this Kwame Nkrumah story.
Yes, I shall tell you more about him, yeah. So we start with who was Kwame Nkrumah. Na start kusema from my head, nitawasomea ndo msikuje kuniambia eti it's me.
You is cooking Kwame Nkrumah.
No, I am not cooking him. Na kwa na fat fingers huko na type zinasema ina type tu vitu zake by the way. I'm trying to just type Kwame Nkrumah. It's typing so many weird things. So Kwame Nkrumah anaitwa Francis Kwame Nkrumah. Was a Ghanaian politician, political theorist and revolutionary. He served as the Prime Minister of Gold Coast from 1952 until 1957. Yeah, and it gained
Gold Coast 1952-1957.
Yeah, so Gold Coast was what was Ghana before it gained independence. So when it gained independence, became the first president. So, what does Kwame Nkrumah say about neo-colonialism? I think he has a whole book. Yeah, I think he say ni kitabu mzima kusema vile neo-colonialism is still one of our biggest problems. So, what he says is that we allowed former colonialist or the political power to still have reign over us, and we do this, and all it does is give the white man, sorry to use that word, control over the black man in
black man kind of fashion.
Now the control is under the black man, but management is under the black man, but control is still the white man. So there's so much to say about Kwame Nkrumah. There's so much to say about his theories of neo-colonialism, and we shall get deeper into it, but not today, in another episode. So stay tuned for an after hours episode on neo-colonialism
And
Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. With that, I hand the mic back to studios with Anthony Maina to tell us a few things before we close up.
Back in studios. Thank you very much, Alvin, Fadhili, for your wonderful work. Anyways, if you've gotten to this point, you most probably really like what you're hearing. It's really engaging or entertaining or educative to you.
Yeah.
And it would not hurt if you shared it to a friend who would also find it insightful, so that you can have conversations generated by the Mirror Podcast. We have a very interesting way of starting the message. It starts with us, So, like, share, and leave a subscribe, leave a friendly comment, and leave a productive comment, Like, leave something that will make the world a better place.
And also tell us what you'd like us to improve on. And
yeah.
Even if it's telling us or commend us on what we have already done, we'll also appreciate.
Yeah, so from this corner of the world where the Mirror Podcast run wild, adios.
Kwa heri ya kuonana, guys.
Next week.
With that, we call it an episode.